Welcome to Man Cove Wellbeing, and today an MCW member shares a little bit about their story. Please read the disclaimer before watching. This can be found in the description of the video on YouTube. It covers the intention of the video, where we source the information, audio and footage for the production. The videos on this channel and its content are not a substitute for the support and guidance of a qualified health professional. The people featured in this video are in no way associated with the story or representative of MCW. We want to thank every man who shares their story with the MCW community. Please watch and listen with care. The content of this video and audio may be triggering or may make you feel uncomfortable. Please press the stop button and return to the video when you feel ready. Always put yourself first and seek the guidance of a health professional. Thank you.
My brother and I were close for the first 40 years or so of our lives, until he got married in his late 40s. My overwhelming memories of growing up were of being known as Derek's sister. I often wondered if people beyond our friendship group actually knew my name. I was very proud of my brother. To the outside world, he was a happy chappy, a go-lucky, confident, highly skilled man at work, and very popular with work colleagues, and popular with local musicians who he often played guitar with, or supported at gigs as a roadie or a techie. Beneath the surface was a young teenage boy who'd been bullied at school. He bribed the bullies by taking donuts to school every day that he'd been given each morning on his paper round. It wasn't until years later that he confessed the human cost of buying off the bullies to me. He'd been sexually abused by the local baker every day when he delivered the morning paper. He never shared this terrible secret with anyone, and refused to tell our parents or teachers at the time. Life went on, and I wondered why his relationships never progressed beyond a certain point. About 25 years ago, I trained as a psychotherapist and realised that he needed to deal with the abuse to be able to move on in his relationships. Derek refused to consider therapy, and we went back to our usual way of talking about everything in our lives, apart from that. 10 years ago, he met an American woman and fell in love. There were many potential barriers to them marrying, but within months he was in America and they married. When she was able to get a visa, she joined him in the UK. Very quickly it became clear that married life was not what he had hoped it would be. He became withdrawn, and it was becoming increasingly difficult to get to see him. There was always some reason why we couldn't meet. Before I knew it, the only way I was able to see him was to meet him for lunch at work. It was then that he started to reveal the pressure he was under to stop seeing his friends and family. In hindsight, I see that this was the behaviour of a partner misusing their power to control their spouse. The reasons she used to keep him away from us were always to do with sex. She alleged that he was having homosexual relationships with his best friends, and other random excuses. None of it true, but impossible to persuade her otherwise. All of this happening at the time Jimmy Savile was being investigated, together with the prosecution of a teacher at his school for sexual abuse. She tormented him constantly by telephoning him at work, checking up on him, driving him to despair. Then one day in 2013, I had a phone call from his best friend. Derek was missing. No more information was forthcoming. His wife was worried and called his friend. Didn't communicate with our parents or me, so we had no idea that his disappearance could be serious. The next phone call I had was to say that he'd been found. In total shock, I was told he had taken his own life. The following days, weeks, months passed in a blur of pain, shock and trauma. But his story doesn't end there. Hundreds of people came to his funeral, to a memorial gig, and connected through a Facebook memorial page. It was so clear how loved Derek was, and that his death had influenced them and their approach to depression, anxiety, domestic violence. And many people opened up to their spirituality. My own journey as a spiritual counsellor and healer was triggered by this death, and I have focused on supporting people experiencing mental health or spiritual crises ever since. Even in death, he had a massive impact on his friends, colleagues and family. Everyone is now more thoughtful, kind and caring, and looking out for others. I trained in safeguarding so that I could ensure as many people as possible knew how to raise official concerns for vulnerable adults and children. I often wonder whether he would still be here if safeguarding policies and procedures had been fully utilised. The biggest message I take from all of this is to be kind. You can never know what's going on through another person's mind, how close they are to taking irreversible action, and how one little thing you do could make all the difference. There are many campaigns around nowadays encouraging people to talk, but mental distress remains one of the biggest killers of men today. As a society, we need to come together in our communities and care for those around us, not hide away behind our phones and our front doors.
Thank you for watching, and if you're seeking support with your emotional or mental health, please contact one of the helplines listed in the description of this video on YouTube. We hope this was useful, and if you'd love to see more videos like this one and even provide your own content, you can become a patron today and join the MCW community. That's all from us today, and we'll see you soon.